Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where I'll be doing technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of long term and short term setups, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. And if you go for that annual membership, which I do recommend, then you're going to save some money there. Now let's talk about the market. Well, Dow absolutely flat on the day, Nasdaq going up 0.67%. It was down on the day when we started the day. And then S&P also was down, up now 0.41%, and Russell also going up in the green 0.31%. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. Pretty much everything is in the green except industrials. We got basic materials, energy, technology leading the way on top. Stock market map, what we have here, well, Nvidia gained back some of those losses from Friday. Broadcom, big move here, up 3%. They do have earnings, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. AMD was nicely up on the day. AMU, another one that was up. So semis definitely put up a nice show out there today. We got Meta going up. Communication services. Well, it's a different story here because communication services, it's Google and Meta big names, and Meta up nearly 4%. Google again lagging behind, down over 1.5%. Tesla finally, coming off a little bit, down 1%. And consumer defensive just took off once again. Costco, that monster, once again another big run here on Costco, guys, up 1.60%. Amazon up in the green. Apple up in the green, and Microsoft also going pretty much flat on the day. And now let's talk about the big opportunities on Google and Apple first before we get to anything else. On Apple stock, it's a 0.43%. So Apple again coming down to 200 and then going back up almost over 202, but now holding just under 202. So you can see this 5-day moving average now actually rising, and the support held today, which is at 200. And then below that, we also have the weekly support 198. Then we can talk about possibly coming down to 193 and then 190. But as of right now, 200 can hold, and this thing can get above 205 here. These moving averages right here, you get see 20, then we got 50, the red line, which is a negative slope, and it's not really looking good at this point. But if we can get over these moving averages, guys, game on for a move up to 207. And we saw that last week after hour with that news. Tariff got blocked by the court. So if this thing gets some sort of good news from somewhere, whether it's Trump or Tim Cook or the company itself, this thing can push easily up to 210 to close this gap, and possibly we have a bigger unfinished business on top, which is this gap from just a couple of months ago. So 221 comes, that's going to be massive opportunity. And so far, these two names, Apple, and then we will talk about Google here also, are lagging behind. So you can see Google again coming down to 168 under 170, but end of the day just barely holding 170. Yes, we do have these moving averages that are rising, but it needs to hold. At least if it comes down to 166 here, that needs to hold. It needs to reverse, and it needs to go back up. So Google here 170 key level, below that 166 20-day moving average, and then 162. 173 can break 5-day moving average, and it can stay over 170. Then watch out for a move back up to 176. And once we get over that, we can talk about more upside here on Google. AMD, another one, massive move today here on AMD. And we took a trade Friday here on AMD. And if you guys remember, and I did mention that Friday that 110 held, and that is a level that I'm watching to maybe get into some AMD exposure here. And this thing definitely, I mean, 115 calls pretty much going in the money was nicely. I think it was almost 30% that I got. Some people got 25% within my Patreon. So kudos to you if we took this trade. And if you're not taking trades, well, you're not going to make any money. This was really nice. Early morning profit delivered right to my door after buying this dip here. And now there might be even more upside. And, I got AMD shares, bunch of shares that just holding I've been buying on the way down, and now I'm not gonna sell anytime soon. These are a little bit longer term swing trade that I think it has the potential to go back up to 200. So AMD 110 key level to watch. Now that we're over 113.62, that's gonna be also a level to watch right here. These two moving averages. If we can stay over 110 and it can push higher, then the next stop 118 and then 122, and there is a gap above as well right here near 127, and it can go there at some point right here. So AMD definitely, I mean, it's looking really good, and it can possibly continue even higher. And Meta here, I mean, look at this big move, guys. I mean, this thing went ballistic today. The support held, it was some consolidation here. And as soon as we got out of this box, what happened? I was talking about, 664 in my video. We blasted through like 664, like nothing was there, like, knife cutting, butter. And this thing went over 664. And now, I mean, look at this, 671 almost. So 664 support, if this thing wants to continue, it can go up to 682, and then we can talk about possibly more upside and maybe even going back up to all-time highs. Now, if this thing does not hold 664, which I don't think that's the case, look at the candle here and the volume. But if it breaks, then watch out for the support down here. That 5-day moving average can act as a support right here, 650 and then 638. And then we have this gap down here at 632, which can act as a potential support as well. On Amazon stock, it's at 0.80%, so another dip and rip to the upside. I mean, look at this dip, 202.68. If you caught this dip today, well, kudos to you. It looks like, I mean, anything that you're seeing in the market, if there is a slight, pullback here in the market, whether it's on SPY, whether it's on Qs, IWM, dips are getting bought up. That's the bottom line because, if you're buying puts, those are not really paying. Calls you're buying, shallow pullbacks you're buying calls, you're getting paid. And this is a really good example because look at Friday, what happened? Went back up. Look at what happened today, went back up. So that means one thing, bulls are in control right here on Amazon. As long as it's over that 205 range, it can possibly even go up tomorrow and close this gap just under 209, and from there it can go up to 212 and then 216. If it breaks below 205, there will be support at 202, 200, and then this gap comes into play just under 195. Let's talk about Microsoft here, and you can see, I mean, when big names are going up, market will not stay down, and it's been the big part of this rally here that Microsoft not really giving up, even though Apple is lagging behind. I mean, it's trading near all-time highs, guys. I mean, what is all-time highs? Look at this right here, all-time highs on Microsoft, 52-week high. We're just there. We're just almost there. That's the all-time high right here. Only a few bucks away. So when you look at it, I mean, Microsoft trading at all-time high, potential for a breakout over all-time highs. It's blue skies right here, guys. Blue skies that it can just go up and up and up even more, and then we might get a pullback. So Microsoft is on a verge of a breakout here, and if this is going to take place, market will not stay down. Now, I did post the video on stock market. Go ahead and check that out because there are some red flags that I talked about it in my video. And, these things you got to take a note because if the market pulls back, is it going to actually crash or no, just a dip that you're getting and even waiting for that dip? And so far, I mean, these dip buyers, including us, people that are buying, they're getting rewarded for buying these dips. And people that are waiting for like, shorting and talking about daily double top, weekly this and that, you're not really getting paid. And if you're trading like one-sided, just buying puts, no calls on nothing, you're gonna hurt yourself. And it's happening a lot. A lot of people just go one way. You cannot control the market, so you need to put your money, in different baskets. And if you're just putting, in one thing, you're going to lose money. So Microsoft here, if we can get over this all-time high right here, I mean, we're pretty much retesting all-time highs. If this thing breaks over 465, it can go to 470 and maybe even higher. I have a target right up here around 486 to 490. To the downside, now there will be support right here at 460 exactly pretty much because of this blue line 5-day moving average, 455, Gap fill reversal can act as a support 453.69. Confluence from this 20-day moving average also support at 450 and then 447. Then we can talk about potential for a reversal and maybe short-term downside, but I mean it's nowhere near 447, guys. So let's just not even talk about it right now because this thing is definitely not pulling back. And talking about not pulling back, well, this name definitely not pulling back, even though it's getting more and more overbought. But if you look at it in past couple days, it's not really going anywhere. Yes, we did hit an all-time high today. We closed at an all-time high, but if you look at from past couple days, we just went back and forth and did nothing. It's up on the day. I think it was down on Friday, 1% or something. It was down on Thursday, and now today it's up 1%. So Netflix at a brand new all-time high. If this thing wants to continue, it can push. Now there will be support right here at 12:15, and if it wants to continue, 12:36 to 12:40, the next stop. 1215 gives up the next critical support 1200 exactly, and then the 20-day moving average 1173 and then 1163. If we get under that level, we'll talk about more downside at that point, but as of right now, that is not the case. Right here on Netflix. Tesla, what is Tesla doing here? Well, nothing but a lot of consolidation. Now, well, if you're watching someone in my Patreon group, they were asking about calls here, and I did, say that 330 can hold. You can take calls. Definitely, you can take. And I think you got some money right here, and you can see. I mean, there was a decent move. I mean, that's a what you caught about 6, 7, maybe even $8 to the upside. Fantastic, right here on Tesla. That's all you need. You're not trying to go big here and swing at 300 long-term calls. You don't want to do that, right? So this was a fantastic dip. You can see the 20-day rising. It's sitting near 330, and it came down right here. And if you caught it right here, you got to move somewhat of a 6, 7, 8, maybe even $10 right here. So Tesla, I mean, it just consolidating, just giving up some of the gains, coming back. So Tesla here, 330 can hold, and this thing can actually break over 352 now. The 5-day moving average, that's where it's sitting, or actually 353.47 to be exact. Right here, you can see right on my screen that blue line, the 5-day moving average. Then it can go back up to 362 and then higher at 375, and then we can talk about even 400. But this is going to be key line in the sand for Tesla. 20-day moving average rising, 330 holds, then we have more upside. 330 does not hold, we have bunch of gaps down here and easily can come down and close this gap, and that is going to be a significant downside if this thing comes back down to 307 to even 300. On Nvidia stock, it's up 1.67%. So Nvidia back over 136, and we just had that mini pullback. Well, we did close this gap from earnings, and now it's back over 136. So yes, the trend is still up. Trend is still bullish. If this thing can continue to hold over 136, it can go back up to 142 to 144, and then we can talk about possibly even retesting all-time highs, just like Microsoft. If it does not hold 136 and comes and breaks this trend line right here at 130, then there will be downside down to the 20-day or daily 200 SMA, which is at 126. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. I'll definitely keep you guys updated tomorrow.